video, I want to teach you how to start your structure when you're doing an extension, an addition, or you're building a building separated from your house. According to the regulations, the structure has to be anchored to the floor with bolts, an epoxy material, and bolts big enough to support the structure. So we're going to follow that, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. First, we have a double wall of brick that we're building. This is a double car garage, two entrances. So we have sections of wood. We are, working the perimeter right now, and we have sections that are lining the areas where the structure is going to be erected. Now, in order to anchor these things, you have to have a few processes. The first one is that you want to determine where your bolts are going to go. And when I say bolts, these are the type of anchor bolts that I'm talking about. Bolt is 5/8 thick, about 6 inches, 6.5 inches long. So you need bolts. You need a spade bit, 5/8 in this case, a 5/8 concrete drill bit, some epoxy mixture. This is a concrete epoxy mixture, and that's it. So if you notice, what I did is that I mark over here the depth that I want to go through, and not to waste too much of the material. That epoxy is really expensive, so I recommend you to use the proper amount. That one is just marking the depth of how much we want to go. We already know in this case that right in the middle is 3 inches and 3/4 of an inch. So 3 3/4. I already mark over here, made a perforation. I'm going to make the second perforation. So with your tool at a nice speed, this is actually a hammering drill. Always use some protection for your eyes. Now we have the area where we want it. Now you have to actually install the concrete bit. And secure it with some sort of this thing actually has a key to secure it, but you want to make sure that this thing is nice and secure. When you're working and drilling to this depth with this type of drill bits, hold the drill steady in a strong way. In this case, we're going to step on this thing, put it on the hammer bit, use some protection. Okay. If you notice, I just went all the way through the depth that we wanted. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, that's the first step. So we're gonna take this, clean it out a little bit. We have the areas where the bolts are gonna go. Just clean it up. Now use the epoxy material. Now don't exaggerate putting this epoxy. Remember that we have this thing mixes by itself. It has a 2-part epoxy. And since we have a 5/8 of an inch bolt and a 5/8 of an inch a hole, pretty much if you put too much of an excessive weight, you're gonna waste it and it's gonna just burst whenever you put it in. So put a lot of pressure into this thing. Okay.
All right, fill it up like halfway, all the way through. Now proceed to install the board. I already made some marks, so just put it wherever it was going. With a hammer, you're gonna drive the bolts all the way through. Make sure that they are nice and anchored. Always put the nut first. Yeah, I found that sometimes when you hit a bolt really hard and you don't have those nuts, later on are hard to move in. Now the epoxy needs to dry sometime. Follow instructions of how much is the drying period of the epoxy. Later on, using a ratchet set or a vice grip or a regular adjustable wrench, you can actually fasten it, and that's actually the way you gotta do it, and the way it has to be done according with the codes. Okay, thank you.